Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to episode 6 of the Wrestling Wrap Up. I am your host, the megastar Austin Savage. I'd like to start off this week's show with my thoughts on TNA's Lockdown this past Sunday. Now, anybody that watched episode 5 knows that the match I was most looking forward to seeing was the Escape match, which was the first match on the show. Leave it up to TNA to screw up what I thought would be, mid-card match. I mean, it was a great X Division match, but in my personal opinion, I think the cage helps and hinders the X Division guys all at the same time. And I'm not buying Gen Me as singles wrestlers. They were mid card talent in ROH, and I don't see them being much more in TNA. Max Buck, I'm sorry, should not have won this match, should not be the number one contender for the X Division title, and has no business being in the ring or beating Kaz for the X Division title. Who is he beaten? Come on, fans, who is he beaten other than his brother in singles competition? Mickie James made history Sunday night by becoming the first woman to hold the WWE Women's, Divas, and TNA Knockouts championships. Congratulations, Mickie James. I'm glad to see you did it before Gail Kim did. Because let's face it, when she was in TNA, Gail Kim won everything. Moving on to the Four Corners match. Four Corners tag team match, excuse me. It was a pretty decent match. I was surprised that the British Invasion did not win, where this was their big reuniting on pay-per-view. I'm not buying Shannon Moore as a badass or whatever it is that they're trying to do. Matt Morgan and Hernandez, that was a typical big man, throw you around, beat the crap out of you type of match. I did really enjoy the carbon footprint with Hernandez in midair. That came off really, really cool on TV. At the end, though, when Sarita and Rosita were doing their "oh, this is typical, you hold us down, blah, 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 blah," spiel. What was the point of Velvet Sky coming down with no backup, 2-on-1? They should have mopped the floor with her. Instead, they escape the cage and she's there standing like, "oh, I'm going to get you guys." She doesn't have a partner. Because they're doing the whole Winter's got Angelina Love in a trance or some shit. I have no idea. It makes no sense. It's a soap opera. Angle Jarrett, speaking of soap operas, this is an action soap opera. And these are all action soap opera stars. Thank you, Austin Aries, for coining that phrase. Getting back to Angle Jarrett, I thought this match was the match of the night. Was really well put together. And to show how badly these guys wanted to put on a good match, Jeff Jarrett suffered broken ribs and Kurt Angle suffered a separated shoulder in this match. That is just incredible. It's an incredible testament to their abilities and their desires to put on a good match for us, the fans. Angle should have won this match, and the soap opera could have been over. But now, Jarrett won, so they're presumably going to go into sacrifice. The world title match. I was not shocked at the outcome. I think RVD could have and should have turned heel. Maybe not to join Immortal, but just to turn heel, like he was in ECW. The real ECW, guys. Anderson, he's a tweener. He's half the time he's babyface, half the time he's a heel. So they really, they had three babyfaces fighting each other for the world title. There was no real heel. Lethal Lockdown, which, that's what Lockdown is all about, is Lethal Lockdown. This was a solid match. I liked how they put it all together. The order that they entered in I thought was really solid to the storytelling in the match. And I'm going to swallow my pride and say I was wrong. Anybody that watched last week's show knows that I said that Flair had no business being in this match, but for what he did, Ric Flair did exceptionally well in this match. What surprised me the most was Robert Roode not really that he won the match, but he won the match via submission on Ric Flair. I didn't even know Rude knew a submission hold other than the figure four. All right, take a second here and do a shout out to some wrestlers that do YouTube shows. Long Island IC Zack Ryder. I know he gets a lot of support from people on the internet and WWE house shows. I don't know if everybody was watching, but on Raw there were a lot of Zack Ryder equals ratings signs, which were apparently confiscated during the show. For what reason, nobody knows. Watch his shows. They're short, but they're funny. Everybody knows Last Call with Scott Hall. Everybody knows who Scott Hall is. The Outsider, Razor Ramon, Big Scott Hall from the old AWA days. He has Larry Zbyszko on his show quite frequently, and oh my god, to listen to those two banter back and forth, it's incredible. Check that out. It's Last Call with Scott Hall. Right, my Raw notes. Morrison got the spot because he beat R-Truth. I don't really care. I'm pretty sure Cena's going to win the title anyways. I'm glad Morrison's in the title picture because everybody loves him for some reason. Santino and Sheamus, and I'm sorry fans, I'm going to jump around back and forth all over the show because I just took quick notes while I was watching it. Santino and Sheamus went on way too long. That should have been a squash match. They need to really find Santino something to do or future endeavor him. It's comedy. People are not tuning in to Raw to see Santino comedy skits. And if you are, you really have a problem. Sin Cara teaming with John Cena in an impromptu tag team match. This guy can't even hit his spots, and now they got him teaming with the poster boy for WWE. That doesn't make any sense, but, once the kid gets used to being in front of the big crowds, night in and night out, I think he'll be alright. Punk Orton, the main event, was great in terms of the in-ring action. I do, however, feel that the ending with the Nexus coming out, been there, done that, they can't be doing it every week. And the dissension between the members of Nexus, who was going to punt Orton, just end the group if you're going to end the group. Why does there have to be a big scuffle over it? Alright, now I'm going to take a minute and do some shout-outs to people that have been watching the show. Mike in Jacksonville, you asked about the boas that I was wearing earlier, right here. Actually, I was wearing them for the last part of my career. My daughter got them in a costume that she had, and she wasn't using them anymore, so I thought it would be really cool to wear them. So that's how I got those. Christy from Dallas. Yes, I am married. I've been married for almost 5 years. We've been together for almost 16. We have 3 beautiful children together. I'm not wearing my ring tonight because I just got home from work and was taking a break from it because it was making my finger itch. But yeah, I am married, Christy. Thanks for watching the show. Mark from Scottsdale. Where did my name come from was your question. Well, Megastar was just something I thought sounded really cool. Austin is for Austin Aries, and Savage, of course, is for Macho Man Randy Savage, who was one of my favorites when I was a kid. So, Megastar Austin Savage. I want to touch on something that I read on WrestleZone.com. Marion Fontaine slapped Justin LaBar at a PWO show. Justin LaBar writes a column and does a video show called The Chairshot Reality for WrestleZone.com with his co-host Josh Eisenberg. Apparently they don't like each other. Justin's been saying a lot of crap about him on Chairshot Reality, and everybody says this isn't a work, but to me it sounds like a work shoot, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't care, but everybody that does a YouTube show, anybody that does anything for WrestleZone or any other wrestling website, we all talk trash about these guys. It's our job. It's our right as fans to be able to bitch. I bitch at WWE and Vince McMahon all the time. And yeah, I come on YouTube and do it. But you know what? If I had a chance to sit down with the WWE Championship Committee, yeah, Championship Committee, the creative team, I would tell them the same things I'm telling you guys right now. If I had a chance to talk to Vince Russo, I'd tell him the same thing I tell you guys. You know, maybe they need to just stay behind the camera and not go to these shows, or send a correspondent, or have Eisenberg do it for a while. Keep those two away from each other. I'm going to close out this week's show with a rundown of Tough Enough. Luke Robinson looked amazing in the ring with Stone Cold this week. Fans, are you finally seeing what I'm telling you about Luke Robinson? The kid has it. He's going to be a huge star someday. Michelle eliminated herself because she missed her daughter. And I love Stone Cold's reaction to this, and it was the right reaction. I mean, I have 3 beautiful children, and I retired. I don't know. I retired 2 years after my daughter was born, a year and a half after my daughter was born, and then we had another child, so I couldn't go back to the road if I want to, because I'm not missing that stuff anymore. Technique was this week's life lesson. Without technique, somebody gets hurt. Anybody that saw the show knows what I mean. Martin looked great in the skills challenge and thus got his name back. They were calling him Skid Marks, so now they're going to call him Martin. I can see Martin and Luke and possibly Ryan making it all the way to the finale. Ryan showed great promo skills at the elimination when Stone Cold said, okay, you and Michael promo off against each other, and the one that does the best job is safe. Ryan, I call him the Hollywood Blonde, killed Michael in the promos. And I'm going to say something, and you guys can all make fun of me, but if you can't cut a good promo, you're not going to make it in the WWE. I can cut a good promo, I just can't talk well normally. And reading from notes really sucks, people. Alright, that's going to do it for this week. Let me take off these boas because they itch like hell. This is the Wrestling Wrap-Up. I am your host, the Megastar Austin Savage. You can email the show, wrestlingwrapup@yahoo.com. Follow me on Twitter, @ProudToBeStraightEdge. Questions, comments are always welcome to either here on YouTube or through the email. Topics you guys want me to discuss, I'll discuss anything. It doesn't even have to be wrestling related. Anything at all. Send me an email, comment on a video. I'll catch you guys next week. Peace out, guys.